Hey everyone! So in this video I'm going to show you the very basics of creating a user interface using the actor framework. I'll also show you some of the overrides that we have in the actor framework. So let's get started. Let's right click my computer, go to new, event actor, and let's call this actor user interface. Great, so we have our new actor here, which doesn't have anything in it at the moment. To create a user interface using the actor framework, we need to have an override of actor core. So let's do that. Let's right click user interface, go to new, and then VI for override. Now VI for override, we see that we have 7 different options here. What we're going to focus on is actor core. Because remember, in the top of our actor hierarchy, we have actor.lv class, and actor.lv class has 7 VIs for override. We're going to start off with actor core. So let's save this. If we have a look on the block diagram, notice how we have the call parent method. Because we haven't made any overrides in this project so far, when we double click this, we should see the actor core that we've become familiar with over the last few videos. Yes, and there we have it. So we must keep the call parent method in this VI because actor framework works on a stacked behavior, and by a stack I mean that all the child implementations also contain all of the ancestors implementations as well. So the first thing that we should do to create this as a user interface is to use a couple of invoke nodes in order to keep the front panel open and close it at the end. So let's place down an invoke node, and I'll use the quick drop shortcuts to change the class and the method. So if you're not familiar with the quick drop shortcuts I'm using here, I have done a YouTube series on all of the inbuilt quick drop shortcuts for LabVIEW. Okay, so now we have front panel open and front panel close. I'll just make sure the state here is set to standard. And we can use a simple sequence structure to ensure data flow. Okay, perfect. So now our actor core is going to open when it's called and close at the end of actor core. Wonderful. Now let's just, on the front panel, scroll down a bit so we don't see those front panel controls and indicators. What I want to happen here is to just update a simple sine wave on our actor core front panel. So let's drop down a little chart. I'm using the NXG palette here. You can save that. And now I need to create a method that will create the next number in our sine wave. So to do that, I'll right click the user interface, actor, go to new, then VI for static dispatch, and I'll call this create sine wave. And I want it so every time this method is called, it just plots the next number along in our sine wave. So I'll use a very simple function here of the sine function, and I'll use a feedback node so we know what the last value was, and we'll simply add 0.1 every iteration. Perfect. So now every time this function is called, it's going to output the next number in our sine wave. But now the challenge is, how do we get the data from here to our front panel in Actor Core? So how do we get the data from here to here? Well, the first way I'm going to show is simply to use a VI server, i.e. a property node. So to use that, we need to first make a note of the reference of this waveform chart. So let's right click, create invent reference. Now this reference, I'm going to add it to the class private data of this actor, which is this here. So I'll create a control of our waveform chart reference. I'll then cut it and then paste it into our actors class private data. Save that. So now we should be able to bundle our waveform chart reference into our actors data. And remember that an actor is simply a LabVIEW class, so everything you know about classes is true for actors in the actor framework. There you go. So now our actor has the reference of our waveform chart. So if we go back to create sine wave, we can unbundle. So we've got waveform chart here, and let's place down a property node. Change it to value. And there we go. So every time this function is called, it's going to update our front panel waveform graph. Sorry, our waveform chart. But how do we make it so this function is ever called? Well, it's Actor Framework, so we need to create a message in order for this function to be called. So to create a message, just as a reminder, we can right click our method, go to Actor Framework, and then create message. So we'll give it a few moments to script that message. We can save everything. And now we see we've got a create sine wave message here with a send and a do. Let's test what we've created so far with a simple launcher VI. So we'll create a simple VI, and in this VI I'm going to launch root actor, so go to data communications, actor framework, launch root actor, and the root actor we're going to launch is the user interface here. We'll keep the label on. So we'll launch that. Now the message we created was create sine wave. So let's just send that message continuously using a while loop. So we'll send create sine wave, and we'll have a delay in here as well. And I'll create a front panel button so we can stop. Then once we have stopped, we will want to send a normal stop message. So again, to data communication, actor framework, send normal stop. Okay, so let's see what we've created. Let's click Ctrl R. Now you can see that our actor core launched, and the front panel is updating every 250 milliseconds, so 4 times a second. And when we click stop, you can see that our actor closes. The last thing I want to show you in this video is how instead of having an external loop pumping in messages, we could have the actor itself pump its own messages. So instead of pumping a message every 250 milliseconds, let's just copy this loop and put it straight into the actor core. Like so. And this type of loop we call a helper loop in the actor framework. So every 250 milliseconds, this message is going to be sent. Ooh. Okay, we need to find the enqueuer for this actor. So I'm going to show you a new function where we right click, go to data communication, actor framework, event read self enqueuer. Place that down. I will wire in our actor. Then we have the self enqueuer out here, and we can pump in the messages. Now I put 250 milliseconds here. Let's actually make that every 100 milliseconds instead. Now to stop this helper loop, I'm just going to use a local variable. So I can right click this terminal, go to create, invent local variable, and I can place that inside this sequence frame with a true. Okay, sorry about the sudden change of environment. For some reason my video became corrupt and I've only just noticed. But let's pick up where we left off. So I've put down local variables, one in our very last flat sequence structure of a true, and then to initialize the front panel control, I've got a false in the first one here. So when the user clicks stop, or if there's an error, so let's put down an or function, we want this loop to stop. When this loop stops, so either the user clicks the stop button on the front panel of this actor, which is here, or if the actor core stops for an error, let's say, we need this actor to close. So to do that, let's send a stop message. So I'll send normal stop, and wire it across here. Perfect, and we can save this. Now let's go back to our launcher VI, which is here. So we can delete all of this and simply launch the actor. But let's put a simple error handler at the end. Perfect, I'll save that. So now, this launcher VI is going to execute and stop, but the actor in the background is still going to continuously run. Okay, let's try it out. Okay, we have a broken run arrow. That's probably going to be because of the mechanical action here. Yep, mechanical action incomplete. So let's change this to a switching mechanical action. Save. Yep, no errors. Perfect. Okay, so as I said, when we run this launcher VI, it should run and stop immediately. Okay, so when we click the run arrow here, we expect our actor to launch and continue running, even though the launcher VI is no longer running. So let's click the run arrow. Well, hey, you can see that it's now running. Let's launch this again. Yeah, there we go, we have another actor running. We can click those another few times. You can see that we now have 4 actors independently running. And if I stop one of them, you can see that doesn't have an effect on the other 3. Perfect. Awesome. So as always, I'll have the code I played around with today on my Gitbucket page. I'll put the links for that in the description. Please like, comment, subscribe, and in the next video I'm going to build upon what we did today and showing you more of the actor framework overrides.